Tonight, I'm coming to you live from Southwest Florida aboard Salty Abandon, and joining me yet again are my good friends Hayden and Radine from Sailing Vessel Island Spirit. At this point, I've honestly lost count of how many times they've been on the show, but every single time we learn something new. Tonight, we're diving back into one of our favorite topics, the Bahamas. We'll be talking about weather, routing, and what to expect when sailing from No Name Harbor in Key Biscayne down to Georgetown. If you're planning your own Bahamas adventure or just love hearing how the pros do it, this episode is for you. But first, if you like these sailing stories, please smash that like button, subscribe, and share the video. It really helps the channel. I'm Captain Tinsley, and this is the Salty Podcast, episode number 80. Please help me welcome Hayden and Radine.
Fantastic.
Hello. Good afternoon and evening.
Yeah, good afternoon. Congratulations, Tinsley. Number 80. That's
Number
wonderful.
80. Yeah, it's been 2 years now on this
That's
thing.
great. Amazing. You're so good at this. You really are a pro at this.
Well, compliments will get you everywhere. So.
I know.
Well, speaking of everywhere, where are you?
Yeah.
I am
been going.
Thank you for asking. I am in Cape Hayes, Florida. So that would be like south of Venice Beach, north of Captiva, North Captiva, all that. So that's my next stop is going to be actually Pelican Bay. I'll be anchoring in Pelican Bay right off Cayo Costa. You guys have been on this side of
we've been
Florida
in. That's wonderful.
Yeah, okay. Looks like you froze or I froze or something.
Oh,
are you able? Oh no,
we're good.
okay.
I'm still here.
I'm on Starlink and it might be a little sketchy at times, but okay. So that's where we are. We're going to talk about getting from No Name Harbor. Is it No Name Key or is it No Name Harbor?
No Name Harbor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To Georgetown.
Well, first, you're going to get yourself down to Marathon around the corner, and then up into Biscayne Bay, and then you're going to queue yourself up in my little happy place of Biscayne Bay. That's job
one of
number
your
one.
happy places. I've heard you say many places are your happy place.
Yeah.
But so I was thinking about, I've always gone under, the 7 Mile Bridge and then hang a left. But somebody messaged me about the north, but that there is that pathway. There's a channel that goes north of the Keys. I don't know what it would be like in the winter. But
I have run that. Yeah, I've run that. We've run that one time. You can run on the north side of the Keys all the way up to Biscayne Bay. It's very shallow, 5 feet, 5.5 feet. You push mud around now and then. It's way 10 times easier to go on the outside and go up the Hawk Channel. Way easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's kind of cool. It just takes you right in there, doesn't it?
It does. If you don't run aground and get stuck. I mean, there's a lot of cool places to stop. But yeah, we did it one time, and we've done probably 5 runs in Hawk Channel. So I wouldn't. Yeah, at least 5.
We're there for 5 Christmases.
Yeah, we spent 5 Christmases in Marathon.
Right. So we've done it 10 times, 1 time through the north side and 9 times through Hawk Channel. Go Hawk Channel. It'll be better for your nerves. Yeah.
Well, it's if the weather's cooperating, the east winds and all that.
Yeah.
Right. But that makes a nice beam reach going up the Hawk Channel.
Okay. All right. You sold me.
Yeah. The Hawk Channel kind of turns. It goes northeast, but then it turns. It goes north. So yeah, you just wait in Marathon till, and then the beauty of Marathon is you're going to anchor off the Marathon harbor because the mooring balls will all be filled. That's fine, and then you can dinghy in and out of Marathon for services. And if a big front comes or any trouble comes, you just move around to the other side. So you can move around the north side or the west side or south side of Marathon. So it's pretty good. It's not the best anchorage like Biscayne Bay, but it'll be fine because you're not going to be there that long. You're just trying to time your weather to get up the.
Well, it depends on the weather, how long I'll be there, right?
Right. Yeah. Some people make Marathon their destination, which is fine.
Yes. And I've stayed there many times, and I've stayed at Faro Blanco on the north side, which is very swanky. It's expensive, but they've got some nice amenities there. They got a pool and everything. And then, of course, the Marathon Marina that has a pool also.
Yeah, we stayed right next to Faro Blanco. They were building Faro Blanco when we were down there. we were at the private club called Harbor K Club, 24 private slips and a really nice, tight little community. But like all those marinas on that side of Marathon, when the wind blows from the north, it is nasty. It's just rock and roll city in there. But
It's true.
that's the Keys.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's winter. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
would this be a good time to bring up what we talked about?
Sure.
Yeah,
Wanna-
go
wanna-
ahead. Yeah,
Want to
bring
go
up the
ahead and knock it
tipping.
out?
Let's talk about some tipping people.
And who knew it would be so controversial?
Yeah.
So I did a little clip just saying, hey, we wanted to know what everybody tipped. You know, well, when you come into a marina and two guys come out or one guy help you tie up, help you plug in your power, how much do you tip? And I didn't tell. I told I would do a follow up and tell what I tip, but I found out I was on the high end.
Oh,
things.
wow. Well, you're generous.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And someone had told me that dock hands, and I think it's true, think that sailors are cheap.
Right, they do. They absolutely do.
Yeah.
Sailors
and I found
are
out
cheap.
that many of them are.
They are. Sailors are cheap. You know, power boaters come in and take 1,000 gallons of fuel and $5,000. You know, they flip $100 bill out there like it's $1 to us. You know, so it's
Right.
true.
And some people said because they're spending so much money on fuel and everything, they just put it on their credit card and it's like no big deal. But sailors come in, work them to death, get 5 gallons of fuel, pump out. Someone said use the shower. I mean, it was it was a dockhand. It was an ex dockhand. He just went on.
Oh, that's funny.
I have to say, I think they might be right on that. You know, sailors are tend to be on the cheaper side. Yep.
And you tie up their dock, filling up with water mainly.
Yeah, you take forever. Yeah, you take forever.
Of fuel.
You take it on 150, 200 gallons of water, and then I need 5 gallons of gas for the dinghy, and I need 10 gallons of diesel for the boat.
And I have 5 bags of trash.
You know, I got 10 bags of trash. I want to give you.
Yeah.
Here's my trash. Oh, by the way, here's $2 tip for you. Thanks.
Right.
Just want to get you out. Leave.
So someone told me in a dock and marina that the dockhands take bets on if they're going to get a tip from a sailor when they're coming in.
Oh, I can see that.
Come to find out, it's true. So let's share what and maybe we'll influence people in a positive way. Like some people said, why should I tip? Because they're making but I mean, it's like saying you're not going to tip your servers, you know.
Right.
They're not getting a big salary or something.
Right. Yeah. Oh, we'll tip a dockhand $5, $10, $20, depending upon how it goes. You know, that's not a lot, but it's something. And if they go out of their way, it might be $10 or $20 for them helping us. So some dockhands are fabulous. I know Crandon State Park in Miami, where I'll show you where that is. It's one of our favorites. We love that place. The guy's been there for like 30 years. He's wonderful.
You were kind of sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher there for a second. Can you still hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
I guess my service is a little interrupted. Well, what we were saying offline was a dockhand at a marina is what Radine said, local knowledge for that marina. They're the expert in that marina. And they often will keep you from bumping the dock. That's valuable to me.
It's nice.
You know, I've had those that, you know, just barely do anything, but mostly that's not the case. Wouldn't you agree?
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. No question about it.
So I do $20.
Yeah, that's fair. That's nice. That's generous.
When they come in, if it's 2 of them, they'll split it. If it's 1, I give them $20.
Right.
Because, you know, when I need something, I want them to think, I'm going to help her.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
She's a nice lady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that's probably more generous than most sailors will tip. I would think that's above the average, I would think. And I think a lot of people don't tip anything.
It's true. And when you return, they remember.
Oh,
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it helps me to do that. So for selfish reasons. But yeah, I can tell that not everybody tips because they'll go, thank you, you know, or something like that. They'll act like, thank you. So I enjoy that part of
Yeah,
it.
of course, of course. It's nice to be generous, and it's nice to share when you can.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's just kind of. I would like to say to sailors, please think about tipping more. You can
Yeah,
do
let's,
whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm encouraging you to.
let's try to elevate our status as a sailboater. You
Our
know?
reputation.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
this is ridiculous. We don't have to be cheap.
No, we got a sailboat. We're already spending money like crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, we burn $100 bills. We don't even think about it.
You come in with it on fire.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for the support on that.
Yeah.
So are you ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's bring up one of those slides and we'll jump
Okay.
through these. It's going to be
All right.
interesting again.
Let's see. Okay, so
Yeah, so this is the overview, just trying to give an overview of the whole concept of trying to get from Miami down to Georgetown. And that's Tinsley's destination. Her first time of going down here. We've done it how many times, Radine? 10 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone Miami to Georgetown 10 times. So we know this run. And the thing I focused on is because you're single-handing, I focused on how can you get from Miami to Georgetown without any overnight passages?
that's
So,
nice. Yes.
so this entire run, the longest run is 65 nautical miles when you go from Miami out across the Bahama Banks. And that's safe and easy, but we'll look at that. Every other run is 10, 20, 30 miles. It's really, really simple.
I like that.
It's really simple once you get out of Miami and you get east. You see, if you look at that chart and you just think, I have to go from Miami through that little skinny Northwest Channel down around Nassau, New Providence Island, and then I finally reach the first Exuma Key, which is called Highborn Key. That is 200 nautical miles east of Miami.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's the challenge. You have to pick a weather window where you can either make those, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4-day run. You can make that in 4 days, but you'll never get a 4-day window. So what's going to happen is on this run east to get out to the Exumas, you're going to end up getting stuck at one of these places for usually a weather window till the next front comes through. And we'll talk about that when we look in closer. But that's the challenge is Miami to the first Exuma Key is 200 nautical miles.
Okay, so
So-
you initially said there's a place in South Bimini that
Yeah, we're going to look at that. Yeah, let's look at
Okay.
the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, now the next slide is what I'm trying to focus on here is just the beauty of Biscayne Bay because it's one of my top 3 to 5 best sailing places on the entire East Coast. You have 5 to 15 knot trade winds blowing from the east. And I got 4 areas identified. Number 1 is Boca Chica. Number 2 is No Name Harbor. Number 3 is up at the top where Crandon State Park is. And number 4 is Dinner Key Marina. Between these 4 areas, it's all you really need in Biscayne Bay. They've kind of taken away South Beach from us. So we can't really go up there anymore.
Because they took away the dinghy dock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's fabulous up there, but I could do a whole discussion on South Beach, but it's taken away. So that's fine. We focus on these 4 areas and we sail every day. Now, if you go to the next slide, you'll see.
Tell me about this one. Are you going to tell me about that? The number 1?
Yeah, that's Boca Chica. I actually didn't prepare a slide for Boca Chica, but let's talk about it. The thing that you do with Boca Chica is there's a marina, well, not a marina, it's a harbor in there made by Honeywell, and he made it for his own purpose, and he would bring his boats over there from Miami, and you side tie up in the marine in the harbor, and it's very protected. So what you're going to do in Biscayne Bay is when the fronts come, they the trade winds are blowing east, and then the winds go south, and then they go southwest, and then they blow like crazy from the west, and then they blow like crazy from the northwest. Well, 2 and 3 and 4 are not that great for west winds. 4 is okay. But when the winds blow north and then they go northeast, this is a typical frontal passage and they come every 7 to 10 days. So what you do in preparation for that is you run down to number 1, you run down to Boca Chica. And that's about, 15 miles down to there. It's a great beam reach sail. Sail down there, you tie up in there. A day before the fronts come, whack everybody, the front passes, and guess what? The trade winds come back, the 5 to 15 knot trade winds come back, and you sail out of there and you sail back up to 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay.
So Boca
Yeah.
Chica is a park, and there is no trash facilities. There's no bathrooms.
Yeah.
You have to be self-sufficient while you're there. The park ranger only comes a couple of days a week. It is uninhabited, but it is beautiful.
Oh,
And it's like docking in a swimming pool.
It's-
The dock is all concrete and curved, and people help each other tie up. And people do come on the weekends to camp. There's a boat that'll bring you over to camp on the grounds. So there is a rudimentary outhouse type arrangement for that. And it's just a very cool place. You don't want to be there when there's no breeze, though, because it's very, very buggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're only going down there for the frontal passages. So you use Boca Chica as your safe security spot when the winds are blowing. You just sail down there, pull in there, tie up. You're going to spend a day or two there. The front's going to pass, and you're going to come back up to the upper bay. It's
so number 4, Dinner Key.
Yes,
That's not.
paradise.
I mean, I've been to there. It's huge.
yeah,
So because it's so big, there's not protection. Is that your
right.
thought?
If you go to
Okay.
the next slide, I have the upper bay because we could do a whole discussion just on Biscayne Bay. But if you go to the next slide,
I think
my next
I'm
slide.
sorry, you can't see anything.
Yeah,
can
my
you?
next slide shows. Yeah, now what I did here is I tried to just identify on the
This is
upper.
beautiful, by the way, Hayden. This
Yeah,
is excellent work.
Right. Well, I love making these things. It's fun. 'Cause it's a
Thank
good way
you.
for me to review and how this all works and to help somebody else out is what we like to do. So first of all, these are the places on the upper Biscayne Bay below the Rickenbacker Causeway and below Marine Stadium. And
Right.
so what I have are X's where you would drop the anchor.
Okay.
And what you were
Oh,
just
okay.
talking about over there on Dinner Key, where it says Coconut Grove and food over to the west, right above the word waiting, that X there is where we anchor, which is at the back of the mooring field. Because you're coming over here when it's not blowing. It's calm. It's 10 to 15 knots blowing from the east. So yes, you're laying out in the middle of the bay, it feels like, and the waves are coming from the east, but it's never that rough until a front comes. And you have a plan for when a front comes, you're going to run down to Boca Chica.
Yes.
So you're only up here. You're only up here when it's calm, and it's calm, until a front arrives, and then you go into Dinner Key with the dinghy, and that's where you can do laundry, go to Coconut Grove, get groceries over there.
Mhm.
And if you go over to the east now a little bit to Key Biscayne, the 1X on the bottom there where it says food, that's No Name Harbor. That's
Yeah.
where you're going to queue up to leave. You see, I have the dotted arrow that says out. You're going to queue up there at No Name Harbor, and that's where everybody waits to leave.
Right.
Now, when you got your weather window coming, you're done with all these places on Biscayne Bay. You queue up in front of No Name, and you shoot out right there at that
Yeah.
channel there. Now, in the meantime, you can use No Name Harbor, and you can go in there to get food and groceries and go out to dinner. There's a little bar there, and you can walk up to the grocery store, and they got electric carts that bring you back and forth.
So No Name Harbor is inside a state park called the Bill Baggs State
Yeah.
Park. And there's a lighthouse there that you can walk to and climb up the lighthouse. And there's park rangers. So it's a really nice destination. And there's a restaurant right in No Name Harbor.
I've eaten there.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Remember
for you.
when I went
Yes.
earlier this year, I took a jet ski and I came down all the way down here.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
went in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's popular.
Oh, good for you.
Very popular.
It's not
And-
as far as I thought it was.
Right.
So
Now
I wanted to kind of put my eyeballs on it,
Good for you.
Yeah. Now, what happens in No Name Harbor is everybody goes in there and anchors in there and they stay for weeks and weeks and maybe all season. It gets very crowded, but
Yeah.
you could just come out off of the harbor and anchor out there in 10, 15 feet of water, nice sandy bottom, lay out a whole bunch of chain. The current swings in and out, it's tidal. So it ebbs and floods, and you just swing around on the tide. And it's no problem. To get out of that, you go up to the next X, which is called Nixon Harbor, and that's where Nixon's helipad is. There's a house up there with a big concrete helipad that sticks out,
Yeah.
and it's nicknamed Nixon Harbor. It was Nixon's summer house. And that little sandbar right below that X is where everybody in Miami comes to play.
No,
They
one
bring
of
their
them.
tea,
I'm
they
sure it's
bring
one
their
of them.
tea toppers down, they drop anchor, they walk on that sandbar, it's about knee deep, and they swim and play there. And you're anchored between that sandbar and the shore. It's really, really cool.
And you see a lot of thongs, don't you?
Yeah, you see a lot of Miami gear. Yeah, it's it's quite entertaining. And then
Yeah, yeah.
if you go north of there, you have where I say fuel. That's Crandon State Park, and there's
Okay.
a marina. If you zoom in there a little bit, you might be able to see the shape of the marina. But again, I did not focus on the harbors. I just am focusing on the overview, what resources you have. But
So
that's where
there's
you go.
actually a marina right
Yeah,
there?
there's a
Yeah.
marina and mooring balls and floating docks, and
Oh,
and
cool.
it's at the top of Key Biscayne, and that's where you go get your fuel and water and pump
Okay.
out. It's fantastic. And then the last X is right off of Virginia Key. The first time we came down to Miami, my buddy was directing us, and we came under the Rickenbacker Causeway Bridge, hung a left, and went up to the sandy beach and dropped anchor. And that is where you get your most spectacular nighttime view of Miami as the city lights up and you're on anchor there. Your bow
Sweet.
is facing to the east. The port side is looking up to Miami City. It's
It's beautiful.
I've taken some spectacular pictures there. So between those anchorages and those resources of where to get food and fuel and where you queue up at, that is the beauty of Biscayne Bay. And then
Yeah.
every single day you can go sailing.
And
You
you can
pick up,
also take your dinghy up
yeah,
the Miami River here, which I did
yeah,
with the
yeah.
jet
You
ski.
Yep.
go, above
Right
here
through
is
downtown. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
yeah, above here is Miami River. That's really cool. I didn't even focus on that. This is just like, what do you do in Miami, in Biscayne Bay, waiting to cross to the Bahamas? Because
This
you're
is
going to wait,
perfect.
you're going
Yeah.
to wait, you're going to wait 7 to 10 days. And we've waited here for over a month, many, many times. And you just, well, like the weather window comes, you're like, oh, I could take that one. And I'm going to get stuck in Bimini. No, thanks. I'd rather be stuck here.
Right.
Because your next run from here is you're going to try to go like a bat out of hell and get across the Bimini, across the banks, and out to at least Nassau area and get stuck out there and then move on.
And
So
then check in. Where are
yeah,
you checking?
yeah, you use this as your holding pattern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's cross the Gulf Stream.
Okay, Dean's like, let's get going. Okay, go to the next slide. So now we're gonna take off. We got the weather window. It's like, let's go. So here it
Yeah.
is. It's 48 nautical miles. That's all it
Yes.
is.
I've
So
done
you
that.
shoot,
Yep.
yeah, you shoot across the
Yep.
Bimini. That's all it is. That's what, 7, 8 hours to get across there at 6 knots.
knots.
Yeah. So now next slide will show us Bimini. Now the trick at Bimini is I'll try to maximize my screen here. There we go. Okay, the trick at Bimini
That
is
looks nice and protected.
Yeah.
it is, and nobody goes here. This is ridiculous. What
Wow.
everybody does, everybody comes into Bimini. This is called South Bimini. Everybody comes into Bimini and turns north on the dotted line, and they go up into Brown's Wharf up top.
That's what
Now
I
this
did.
this is current driven. The current flushes in and out of here a lot. And what will happen up in the top of Bimini, you must turn across the current to dock. I don't have anything showing up there because you don't even want to go up there. There's no need to go up there. You want to come straight in, hit this channel, come into this pond. These are all floating docks, and it's extremely nice. And yeah, you're not in town. You're not right up in town where everything is. That's okay. You're only here to check in. So you dock, and they have 2 ways to check in. You could take a golf cart down to the airport on South Bimini and check in at the airport.
Yeah.
Or you can walk up to the top of this island where it says Bimini Cove Marina, and there'll be a little ferry boat that'll run you across to North Bimini, and you can check in up at Brown's Wharf at the main customs house up on North Bimini. Either way, you're going to check in here. This is
Okay.
where you're going. Now,
I like that.
if you timed it right and you watch the weather window, the perfect scenario is you come in here, you shoot in here, and you check in that same day. Now, that means you left as early as you could back at No Name, so you have time to check in here, because if you're running a weather window, you don't want to just sit here. But what happens to a lot of people is they take a narrow weather window and they run across the Gulf Stream, and they just barely get in here before the northwest winds start blowing. And imagine the northwest winds blowing into this inlet. You're going to be surfing down 4, 5, 6 foot waves trying to run into this little skinny channel between rocks. Very, very dangerous. So people that try to run a short weather window get caught right here. And now the wind is blowing and the waves are up and they're trying to get in.
Okay.
And so, you would be better off in that situation to not make the run. Stay back in Miami and play day sailing up and down Biscayne Bay, enjoying all the places you can anchor and swim, and wait for a better weather window. Yep. But so you're going to go in here and you're going to dock, and then you're going to try to check in. You might have to stay the next day if you can't get checked in that day.
I probably would, being by myself.
Right.
Yeah,
You'd stay there. And now
I need a break. These kiddies need a break.
Exactly. Exactly.
They have 2 swimming pools that are not on
Nice.
this
Yeah.
map, but it's nice, and restaurants, and you can take
Yeah.
the ferry to North Bimini if you want to. A lot of people like to go to North Bimini to buy SIM chips for their phones.
Yeah.
For the Bahamas.
Right. It's nice, but you got Starlink. You don't need that anymore.
Right.
So I don't know. I try to use this to just come in, check in, and get moving, because remember,
Okay.
you're trying to get 200 miles east. This
Right.
is only 50 miles east.
Yeah.
You have another 150 miles to go till you get to the Exumas. So don't get stuck here. All right, let's look at the next slide. So now you come out of here, you've checked in. Here's your biggest challenge of all the way to Georgetown. 68 nautical miles from South Bimini. You come out down the south, you run across the banks, which are 10 feet deep, and you get to Northwest Channel. Now, most people will not run through Northwest Channel at night because they feel it's a little scary. And it all depends on your navigational skills. And plus, look, if you go through there, where are you going to go?
Now you can't anchor.
It's deep. It's thousands of feet deep. So to
Yeah.
play it safe as a day tripper, like you're going to be, like I want you to be, you're going to day trip, daybreak, you're going to pull out of Bimini. You're going to make this run, and you're going to stop before you go through the channel. Now go to the next slide. And what you're going to do is this. You're going to be running for the channel, which is about, I don't know how wide it is. It doesn't matter. You can go through there, but you don't want to go through there. You're going to get off of the rum line, and you're going to just go down towards the reef, anywhere down here, and drop an anchor.
Yeah.
And you're going to sleep. And you're going to light your boat up like New York City, because you don't want anybody to hit you. Okay. Because people will be running here at night.
Oh, definitely. Ships as
Ships,
well as
yeah.
small boats.
So sometimes people run in, oh, there's a light. That might be the channel entrance. No, that's my boat with one anchor light on. No,
Oh
we
my
don't want just one anchor light on. We want every light you can have on if you're going to anchor right here. You want to look like New York City. So
Okay.
nobody hit you. Now, nobody should hit you here, because if they did, they're
Yeah,
going
it's
to run
kind
into,
of it's off the beaten path, right?
well, they're going to run into the reef if they're going there, if they're
Yeah.
that far off the channel. So you just get off the channel and get down here and drop the anchor. You'll get there at sunset and sleep and get up at daybreak. And now you scoot through this little channel, which the marker is there. There's a little piling
I've
there.
been through there. Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
So now the next stop is New Providence. So now it's 45 nautical miles from the Northwest Channel down to what's called West Bay. And that's the end of New Providence. And I don't think I zoomed in on that because it's just a little round harbor. It's real easy to get into.
And
Nothing.
just let me clarify that
Yeah.
the island is named New Providence,
Yeah.
but it's where Nassau is located. So
Right.
Nassau's on the north side, and West Bay is right about where the letter A is in Nassau.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on the west end of the island, there's a big hook there, a big harbor. And again, I didn't what I was focusing on is the routes. Like, how far is each leg to go from A to B to C to get out here? So now you're at New Providence, West Bay. The next slide now. Okay, now you leave 45 nautical miles, another day trip. Now you make your last run east and you hit Highborn Key. And that's the first key you're going to run up to, because that's the closest key. And
Yeah.
you just get there by sunset, you drop an anchor off the key. Again, the east trade winds are blowing across the Exumas, and you're on the backside of the island, you drop an anchor. Now you go to the next slide. Now it's a piece of cake. Look at this. That is Highborn Key up at the top. Your next day is 13 miles down the Shroud Key.
Sweet.
And this is now this is the way it goes all the way down through the Exumas. You now have reached the Exuma chain.
Right.
You're 200 miles east of Miami. You've busted your tail to get out here. Might have taken you 4 or 5 days if you're good and lucky with the weather, and it might have meant you waited 7 to 10 days in Bimini till another weather window comes along, and you made it out here. But we've run out here 10 times.
Yeah.
We've done this trip 10 times.
I like that. 13 nautical miles. I
So
like it.
now it's a piece of cake. 13 nautical miles. You scoot around the backside of the Bahamas. It's just so beautiful. Now you're at Shroud Key. This one I zoomed up. Go to the next slide.
So while you go to the next slide, I'll just
look at
say
this.
you're now in the Exumas Land and Sea
You're now,
Park.
yep.
And this is the beginning of the park. And again, there is no place for trash. There's no ranger station here. It's an unoccupied island. And the fun thing to do here is the dinghy route that Hayden has laid out. You take it counterclockwise out to the beach, and you watch the surf come in up there, and people are riding the waves in and out. It's so much fun. And then you dinghy the rest of the way. And while you're taking this dinghy ride, you're low and the mangroves around you are higher. So you really don't have much of a view, and you just keep going until you get there.
Yeah.
Well, how many miles is that?
Oh,
That
that would take you 45 minutes to get out to where it says play here, to an hour by dinghy, and then you come back around. This loop might take an hour and a half if you did it nonstop with the dinghy.
Okay.
Because you can't plane through here. Now, there are people that come in here, the big mega yachts drop off, they're anchored off here. They drop their jet skis in and they blast through here with jet skis.
But you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. But what the fun thing is, at the ocean up there where I say play here, because this is tidal, the little canals here are flowing out into the ocean, or they're flooding in. And when you get there at high tide and it's flowing out, it's like a water ride, a water slide that you jump off the rocks and you jump into this river and it jets you out into the ocean. And then you go left or right because you can't swim back against the current. That's flushing out. And it's a playground.
It's one way. It's
a playground. And
so you do need to know what the tide's doing, because your dinghy won't go very fast if you're going against the current.
It's really fun. It's a absolute Exuma's paradise, not to miss. There's no development.
Now, how long did it take you to learn this about that dinghy route?
Oh, we kind of did it every time we were down there.
Well, other cruisers told us about it.
Yeah, that's well known. It's in all the guidebooks, and everybody talks about it. So it's very, very common.
So there's mooring balls here, and you are expected to use the mooring balls if they are available to protect the seabed. You are allowed to anchor if all the balls are full.
Yeah, we usually anchor here because it's usually, the mooring balls are usually full here. Now from here, you're going to be going to Wardrick Wells, and you start radioing into Wardrick Wells from here on VHF radio, because you want to try to get a reservation on a mooring ball in Wardrick Wells a day ahead of your arrival time. They hold it for you. If you go to the next slide, you'll see the run now.
And you have to call them on the radio?
Yeah, you call them on the radio. I don't think they answer the phone. So this is the Shroud Key to Wardrick Wells run. Now there's a lot of places in between here, but this is 18 miles. It's what, 3 hours. You scoot down around here, and you come up into the skinny little channel. Go to the next slide here for Wardrick Wells. Wait till you see this.
So Wardrick Wells is the park headquarters, and there is a ranger station here. And they do parties on Saturday nights on the beach, and it's a wonderful place to be.
This is the dream of the Exumas. If you made it to nowhere else, this is the place to get to, is Wardrick Wells. There's nothing that we've been to in all of our trips and travels and everywhere we've sailed. There's nothing that matches this in uniqueness and beauty.
That's saying a lot.
It's magical.
Yeah, we have a few miles, and
Yeah.
this,
I would
this
say
is
so.
you come in here, and on your navionics, it'll tell you what the number of the balls are. You can see numbers on them here a little bit, but
Yeah.
in your navionics screen, when you zoom in, it'll tell you what ball number 10, 12, 13, and the park will say, okay, Salty Abandon, you're on ball number 12. Well, then you look at where that is. Now, the challenge is, especially for a single-hander, it's a skinny little channel.
Yeah.
You're running in here. There's boats on every single ball. They're all facing bow into the current. So the current is either flooding or ebbing, coming in or going out. So you're coming in and you got to study the current like, okay, the current is, let's say, coming out. This would be the nicest scenario. The current's coming out, you're driving into it, your bow is facing upstream. Good. You drive up to your ball, you take it. When the current is flooding in and you drive in, you either have to try to take the ball going downstream and then your boat spins around, or you're better off to make a turn, make a 180 turn, go past your ball, make a 180 turn, and then come back upstream towards the mooring ball to take it. Very, very tricky in here because there's not much room. And
Yeah.
so,
You
usually
could run aground right here.
well, yeah, but it's all sand. You don't want to run aground in here because of the current. But we were back here in the very back where it says like
20 and
20 and
22.
22. We were all the way back there a couple times. Where the circle is where the park office is, and where the beach is that everybody goes to with their dinghy. There's a swimming platform there. We love it. We go there to that beach every day. And then the other thing people do is they hike Wardrick Wells up to what's called Boo Boo Hill,
Mhm.
and they go up there because before all this connectivity, people would go up there to hold their cell phone up on Boo Boo Hill so it could reach Staniel Key cell tower and they could get their mail and they could get their messages and they could make a call. And when you come down off of Boo Boo Hill, your cell phones don't work. And so the park ranger here used to sell SIM cards and they sometimes would sell you access to their Wi-Fi network. Well, all that's going away with Starlink. It's
Right.
not a big.
Well,
but
let me ask you, how well protected is this
Oh.
channel from wind?
That's where you want to be for any storms.
Okay.
Everybody tries to get here for when the storms come. When the front, not storm. I use the
Front.
word storm, but it's a frontal system. When the
Yeah.
fronts come every 7 to 10 days, all
Right.
winter long, and they're stronger in the January, February, and then in the spring, March, April, they start to tame down. So a lot of people like to go over to the Exumas in the spring. Literally, they stay back in Florida till March, and then they go over. Other people.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
watching a clip that that was from a former pod. I can't even remember how many times you've been on. I was trying to count it, but it's 80 episodes. It's getting unmanageable. But you had said something like people think they're going to come down in the winter and kind of go over to the Abacos and they freeze to death.
Yeah. Well, the Abacos are cold. Yeah, the Abacos are cold. They're just like Florida gets cold too, though.
As you recently discovered.
Yeah, when the fronts come down from the northwest, it brings the cold weather down. And then till that goes through and then comes back to the east trade winds, it's very cold. So
I was in Bimini in December and it was cold.
Yeah, some people think I'll get down to Florida Thanksgiving and I'll immediately go over to the Bahamas as fast as I can. And they can. And then they get down to Georgetown as soon as possible. Now you're below most of the fronts. The fronts aren't reaching Georgetown as often. They do reach Georgetown, but you'll see as you go down this Exuma chain, there's not a lot of protection
from west and northwest.
From west and northwest winds, which are going to come every 7 to 10 days. Like if you're sitting off a Shroud Key and a front comes, no, you will not sit there. You're going to have to find someplace else to move. Wardrick Wells is the place you would want to be. If you can't get in the top of Wardrick Wells, then people go to the bottom of Wardrick Wells, and there's place to anchor down there. So
And mooring balls as well.
Yeah.
It's called Emerald Bay.
Emerald
So
Bay.
if you get assigned by the park office for your reservation to be in Emerald Bay,
Yeah.
it's almost as good. You can take your dinghy into the park office and into that beautiful beach and up to Boo Boo Hill. So it would frankly be easier to take a ball at Emerald Bay
Oh, way easier.
than in Wardrick Wells. So,
Yeah.
you, so
Because
you can
because
request
getting
them.
in there is a little. This is a little tougher than
It's
that.
a little tougher. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tricky getting that ball, by yourself. It would be, I mean, one of the tricks on getting a mooring ball that we've learned is you tie your bow line off on one of your bow cleats, and then you take the long loop of the dock line. That end is tied to the boat, and you hold the other end of the dock line, and you throw the entire dock line out over the mooring ball as a loop.
Yeah.
Let it sink
Like
on the
lasso
outside.
it.
Yeah, lastly, yeah, it just gets on the outside of the mooring ball, and you got the one end held in your hand. The other end's on your boat. You pull it back and cleat it. So you've thrown a loop out there.
Yeah.
And as opposed to trying to pull up the eyelet and put your bow line through that, no, throw a loop, lasso
Fix it
tie
later.
yourself
Yeah.
to that, and then deal with everything.
Sure.
So it's another trick for single handing.
Sure.
All
I
right, so if
can
you go
use
to the
it.
next slide, you'll see from Wardrick Wells, we go down to the famous Pig Beach, is where everybody loves.
Absolutely.
So now we come out of Wardrick Wells, and again, look how long we have to
Can I ask,
run.
can I ask one question?
Yeah.
So Emerald, you said Emerald
It
Key?
was Emerald Bay is just below Wardrick Wells. It's
So
on
it's
the
like-
south side. It wasn't on that screen, but it's on the south side of Wardrick Wells. Yeah.
So
When you
right,
look
right
in,
in here.
yeah, when you look into your chart, you'll see where it is. It's
Okay.
just south of. So now you
Okay.
got another long day run, 20 miles. You run down to Pig Beach. So here's another 4-hour day. And you come
Mhm.
down into here. Now go to the next slide. You'll see what Pig Beach looks like. It's so cool. This is one of my favorite little spots again. I love this because you're going into, it's called Big Major Spot.
Yeah,
And
that's the name of the island.
The island is Big Major Spot. Everybody calls it Pig Beach because this is where they put the pigs.
Right.
And it's a tourist trap. People love it. But it's a great anchorage because you can see where the X is. You anchor there, and then you dinghy around on the dotted line over to Staniel Key Yacht Club,
Right.
which is where you can get groceries. You have the little bar, restaurant there. It's fabulous. You got the blue store and the pink store, and you got a little airport there. You can fly supplies in and out. But Pig Beach is just beautiful. We love it. You got the grotto there. That's Thunderball Grotto. People swim that. So from the X, which is where we always anchor, we prefer being there and then just dinghy around over to Staniel Key and the grotto.
When it's windy,
As
it's
a-
a little bit of a splashy ride, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
As opposed to where, like you said, you
Well,
were,
if a front came, of a strong westerly front came here, people tend to go over on the other side of the island. See how there's a slot in there? They anchor in between there. And it's called
In
between
here?
the majors. Yeah.
No,
up north.
north.
Up north, right to the left of the word B. The Pig Beach.
oh, how
right
do you get
that
in
slot.
there?
Yeah, exactly. You go out by you go out by the grotto and you go up and go in there. And so people go up and anchor in there, but I hate places like that because the current is ripping in and out. So every boat's going to flip, bow into the current every 6 hours. You're going to do a 180. You could break your anchor out.
Mhm.
And then the wind is from the west. So the wind is now on your beam.
Across you.
I would rather sit where the X is and just take the wind, lay out 150 feet of chain and 10 feet of water and just ride it out right there.
And
That's
what kind of winds are we talking when those winds start coming?
2025.
That's
Yeah,
stout.
maybe gusting 30 sometimes, but it's
Woo.
the way it is. It comes every 7 to 10 days. It's standard. So that's why people keep moving south. The
Right.
farther south you go, you get away from it.
Okay.
So again, we are in transit to Georgetown.
Right.
We're trying. We don't want to get stuck up here at all these fabulous places. You want to hit these in the spring when you're coming back.
Okay. And the
Now
way the
you-
winds are not, you're
They're
not
lighter.
gusting.
The
Okay.
fronts are lighter. So
Okay.
we're again, these are just the places we're trying to stop
Right.
as we progress south.
This is
So
great.
now-
This is great information. I mean,
this is how you do it. So now
Yeah.
go to the next slide. The next slide, we have another big monstrous run 9
Uh-oh.
miles.
Look at
9
that right there.
miles.
Oh, I
Oh,
found a typo.
Oh, no.
That's her fault.
Oh,
She's
forget
not,
it. Let's end the podcast. I'm
that's
just
we're done.
I'm guilty.
We're done.
Guilty.
We're done. We're over. So then we got a 9-mile run now to Pig Beach down to Black Point. This is a fabulous little place. Now, by the way, I didn't show, but we have left Black Point here and going out that inlet right above Black Point to go to Georgetown. You can exit right here also, but I'm having you exit down farther to make it a shorter run. So now go to the next slide. We only have about 3 more slides left here.
Black Point is
All
a
right, look at
very
this.
traditional Bahamian island. The people that live there are very, very reserved. They're very polite. Yes, they're friendly, but they're reserved. On Sunday mornings, it's fun to watch the families all dressed up going to church with the kids in their little cute outfits and lace socks and the whole deal. And it's known for what Hayden has listed here: the laundry, the haircuts, the restaurants, the coconut bread.
Yeah.
The coconut bread is wonderful.
Yeah.
The woman named Lorraine, who owns a couple of restaurants, and her mom is in her 90s now, and
Yep.
she makes coconut bread in her kit and
Yum.
regular bread in her own home bakery every day, and you can order ahead
So-
of time.
What I hear you saying is don't come in here being all loud and obnoxious.
No,
No.
it is a quiet place. Now there
Yeah.
are bars, they do serve alcohol,
Oh, yeah.
but it is not a rowdy place. No.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, don't come in here cutting up and all that. Just be
It's-
respectful. Be respectful.
Yes, be respectful.
people
Exactly.
will come to Black Point and just again stay for weeks because it's a great harbor. And it's got this V shape to it to the east, but when the fronts come in and they get around to the northwest, you're kind of protected a little bit by the shape of the harbor. So Alex and Amy and us rode out a storm there, waiting for a big front to come through before we took off heading south to the Caribbean. And I remember we were having waves break over the bowsprit on the Packet. Okay.
On anchor.
So you're going up and then you're diving down and then you punch through a wave. That's on anchor. But it lasted about 6 hours, 4 hours. We knew it was coming, but we were waiting for that front to come through because as soon as it came through and went northeast, we had a beam reach down to the Turks and Caicos. So that's
So
what
this is right here on this X. Oh, wait, I gotta
yeah,
switch you
yeah,
again.
go ahead. Yeah, the X.
So this is where you were when
Yeah,
the
yep.
when the waves
When the
were,
north-
okay.
The northwest wind would be that dotted line, but that's how we sail in and sail out. We sail in and sail out on the trade winds. You can see it's easy to sail in and out of this harbor, and you can anchor anywhere. And people tend to anchor down closer to where the word laundry is. They like to be near Lorraine's.
The
but-
word library.
Oh, libraries down
Right.
there. Yeah. They like to anchor down at the library. For some reason, they're anchored all over this whole place. I tend to go as far east as I can because the trade winds are blowing from the east and they get the most protection up there until the front comes in. But the fronts move through pretty quickly, usually one day, and then you're protected. As soon as the wind would go northwest, you can see that people move over to this shoreline over here to the top, and they anchor along there when the fronts come
Right here.
to get a little more protection. So
Okay.
this is a great harbor. There's a really good harbor.
I just want to mention that there's free water on the beach. You can bring
Yeah.
jugs in by dinghy
Yeah.
and fill up your water jugs. Now, they don't want you to take hundreds of gallons, but 5 gallons a day.
Again, be
gallons.
respectful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a-
They're providing it to us for free. It's-
Yeah.
Water's
Sure.
produced by desalinization by burning diesel fuel on the island.
Yeah.
And so they're sharing their water with
That's
us.
very nice.
Yeah, it
Black
is.
Point is a great community, great destination. All right, now we got a couple more
Well,
legs, and we're gonna
Look,
reach.
I wanted to show this comment.
Yeah.
Desi C says, I'm saving this and plan on rewatching as soon as possible. LOL. We hope to be on the water next winter.
Oh,
Wonderful.
good for
That's what-
you.
That's what we're
Wonderful.
here for. That's what we want. We want to provide good information for people to be safe. And this is like local knowledge, and you don't even live there. So this is invaluable. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Well, we've been down through here 10 times. We've gone from Florida to Georgetown 10 times. So that's 10 times south and 10 times north.
Right.
And then we've gone 5 times from Miami to Grenada. So anyways, all right.
Yeah,
The
you
next,
pass.
next
Then you pass it. So
Yeah, then
okay.
you
One time we passed it.
Yeah.
Several times we left from Georgetown
We
for
left-
the Caribbean.
we left-
But
yeah.
this last time we left right here from Black Point. We went out Dotham
Yep.
Cut to the north and headed straight to the Turks and Caicos.
we left here and ended
Or-
up in the Turks and Caicos. Yep, and we
And
only
how long was
anchored in
that
No,
run?
sorry, DR. We
We
didn't
went out.
stop in the Turks.
We stopped in the Turks and
Oh, we
Caicos to
anchored.
anchor
Yeah, we didn't
on
clear
West Caicos just for 6 hours to get the weather window right for the Dominican Republic, and then we carried on. So we left this harbor and ended up in the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
And how long did that take?
3 days.
Wow.
Three
Okay.
days. Yeah.
in. Yeah.
You guys are tough.
No, we're stupid. We think we
Well,
can do it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's not the Southern Ocean, but
No. It's good
unless a
sailing.
hurricane comes or something.
It's good
Yeah.
sailing. Yeah, we're lucky. All right, the next slide now. Again, another easy
Oh,
day. Now,
nice.
what we're trying to do. Again, I could leave out of Black Point, but it's another 10 or 15 miles. So what I'm trying to do is just get down to the next exit,
Yeah.
out to and
The next
it's called
exit.
Little Farmer's Key is a cool little place. You come down the backside and you anchor off a Little Farmer's and you go into the little beach bar there and the Little Farmer's Yacht Club. And it's cool.
Yeah.
We spend
Very
a day.
low
We spend
key.
a day or two there. You swim and snorkel and go to the beach bar. Now, next
Okay.
one, go to the next slide. You come out of Little Farmers, and okay, here's the big picture. First of all, you're going to come out of Galleon Cut
Up at number 1.
up at number 1 where Little Farmers is, and it's 38 miles now to Georgetown, all the way into Chat and Chill. So again,
Okay.
that's
Final
still
stretch. Let's do it. Yeah.
there. It is.
Yes.
There's
Okay.
your next. And now again, just imagine that line there with east wind on it. If it's dead east wind, it's kind of upwind a little bit. You can see, right? What you would want would be a northeast wind. That would make it more of a beam reach. So you kind of sit back there in Black Point at Little Farmers and you look at what are the winds going to do over the next couple of days? When can I get a decent sail? This is a great sail down through here. It really is a good sail.
No
if you go to
motor.
the next slide, you'll see the cut. Okay, here's the challenge. This is the cut that's up called Galleon Cut, which is by Little Farmer's Key. And the problem with every single Bahamian cut is you get wind against current.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That you just have to imagine the east trade winds are blowing.
Uh-oh, another
Another
typo.
typo?
And I pointed this
Which
typo
one?
out to you and you neglected to fix it.
Oh,
Study current. Oh no, you meant to study the current. I thought you meant steady current. Okay. He's absolved of all wrongdoing.
I won on this
Oh,
one.
False
you-
alarm. False
Yeah.
alarm.
You have to imagine the east trade winds are blowing nonstop.
Yeah. So
except for front.
it's like, yeah.
So
you're
the
gonna run
winds
into
are the winds are blowing in from the east into this opening. These are high rocky cliffs on each side. The water, the tide is going up and down. I don't know, 3 feet, 4 feet.
Easily.
So we have current now of ebbing and flooding. And when the current is flowing out against an inblowing wind of trade winds, you get what's called a rage. The waves will stack up 6, 8, 10
Mm.
feet, whatever,
Yeah.
right between this, right where you would have to go out. And it's called a rage. And so what happens on the radio is everybody talks about this. They get on the radio. Does anybody know if Galleon Cut is raging today? And somebody, oh, I'm going out right now. I just went out the cut. It's 3-foot seas. It's not bad. Or they all talk about how the cut is and can you run it? And it's all dependent upon what's the tide doing and what's the wind doing against the tide, against the current.
Right.
So this wind against current is the big deal. And the other challenging thing is you have a 38-mile run here. What's it going to be at the other end when you got to go back in? See, there you got to
Right.
cut here to go out, and you got to cut at Georgetown to get in. Now, the one at Georgetown is much more open, so it's not as bad as these little ones up here at Farmers and up at Black Point. All of these up to the north are like this, but Georgetown is pretty big and open to go in. It's not
So it doesn't
usually-
rage as much.
doesn't rage. It's not a worry. These are the worries is getting out. So to get out here, that's one of the things you got to sort of really work on.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to the tide and know what the state of it. You can do it at slack tide if you can time that, but usually you're going to be choosing a time when the tide is with the wind.
Yeah, or slack. Yeah, with the wind is
Just
great.
like the Gulf Stream.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing. All right, the next slide now, I think I get us in Georgetown. So that's the cut. Here's the paradise. This is the destination, Chat and Chill. You want to get to Chat and Chill. Everybody loves it. It's ground zero. We always would sail in here. Now, again, imagine east trade winds blowing across here. We're coming down from the upper left of the screen, and we normally have full sails up as we approach here. And then we drop them, and then we go right up the Chat and Chill beach as close as we can. We drop the anchor. Now, today, this is all moored out. There's moorings everywhere, which is probably better, and it's safer. People don't drag when the fronts come. And but this is where you want to be. And that's
So
where
I
all the
heard
action-
that the moorings are, someone told me yesterday, $300 a month.
Probably something like that. That's reasonable. I mean, people were upset about it because this was always the free place we all anchored. And yeah, so they're making money off of this. I haven't been back here in 5 years, so I don't know. But we've been here 10 times, so we love it. I mean, it's great. We would always anchor, but now it's all moored out.
So so within the winds, I'm sorry, Rating. When the
Yeah.
winds get going here, what is it, 30, you know,
Every
gusts
front coming through will be 25 knots, at least 20, 25, gust 30. Yeah, it'll be blowing, and you just have to imagine the wind clocks. You got east trade winds coming in normally 10 to 15 round the clock. You're behind the beach. You're in a nice calm harbor, and then the winds go south. As soon as you have south winds, the front is coming. This is your warning when south winds come. Then it goes southwest, starts to build, and then it goes west and northwest and blows like crazy. And then when it gets up to north, it's really ripping. And when it gets to northeast, it's usually the strongest. Well, that's good. You're back in protected waters in northeast. And then it dies, and then it drops back down to east. 7 to 10 days like clockwork. And it's related to the weather fronts coming across from Chicago down to Philly and out to New England, and a big low pressure swoops down across the country with this cold front, which is on the weather charts is a blue V, little V's on the lines. And that cold front then drives across Florida, drives down into Bahamas, and eventually withers out. And it's all related to how strong is the low pressure, how deep is the millibars on the low pressure, as to how strong the wedge is. The blue cold front is like a wedge of cold air pushing under the other air, and these updrafts, which then cause thunderstorms. So all of that goes together to cause these high winds. And what you're studying is how deep is the low up in Chicago and Philly and New England? How strong is the V, the blue lines coming?
The front, they call it.
The trailing front. And how fast is it moving? Like if it's just ripping across the country, it's going to be gone in 12 hours. If it's a slow moving nor'easter snowstorm up in Philadelphia and Boston, and it's a blizzard, and it sits up off of the coast for 2, 3, 4 days, a typical nor'easter, you can have west and northwest winds and Chat and Chill for 3, 4 days.
So we always have to tell our worst stories, right? Every sailor likes to tell their worst stories.
Let's hear it.
Of course,
Okay. We subscribe to a weather service run by a man named Chris Parker. He's been a weather guru, a sailor for many, many years.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe to him for a season or for annually. And he's a really good guy, and he's conservative. And with a subscription service, you can talk to him and tell him where you are and what your plans are. And he'll give you weather routing and good advice on where to be. And he's been in the Bahamas for years and years. He now lives in Lakeland, Florida. So one time we're at Chat and Chill, anchored. We were 1 row back from the beach in a great spot. And Chris was telling everyone on the weather that it was going to be so bad that you needed to plan to not get off your boat for 5 days.
Wow.
And we are like,
Yeah,
we are
come on.
one row back from the beach.
We're at
How
Georgetown.
bad could it be? We didn't get off the boat for 5 days.
Your boat is, you got waves that, again, your anchor is hitting the water, you know, you're bobbing around it. You're going left to right. Things are flying out of the cabinets. You're like, oh my God, this is Georgetown. It can get rough.
But 90% of the time, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rare. Very,
Yeah.
very rare.
So Roger McClure says, "Hey guys, good to see you. We're
Ah.
coming down the ICW. Burr, it's cold up here in South Carolina. Planning on crossing the Bahamas in February. Hope to see you out there, Tinsley." Hayden,
Perfect.
and then he said, "Great info as always."
Oh,
Thank you,
Perfect.
Roger.
Roger's
Appreciate that
making
info.
his first trip
Good
south.
job,
so
Roger. That's the
well
time.
done.
I think that's the best time to go over is February. Just spend your time in Biscayne Bay, prepping your boat, practicing all your sails and your equipment and running your water maker and just enjoying life on the anchor, moving around Biscayne Bay. And when the perfect weather window comes in February, even March, go. That's what you do.
That's the most dangerous thing for sailors, to be in a hurry.
Don't push.
Yeah, no
There's
schedule.
no reason to push out of there's no reason to push out of Biscayne Bay. I cannot stress enough how wonderful it is to sail in Biscayne Bay. It really is.
Roger, where are you going to be before February? Are you just taking your time coming down? Just curious about that. So I do have a question about Georgetown. I'm going to put this back up.
Yeah.
So if it gets all, do you ever move?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes,
We
I know
were,
you did that in other places. You would move around.
well, in Georgetown, we always moved when the fronts would come. What we would do in Georgetown, again, this was when we were anchored in here, we would pick up anchor and move west to the other side of the harbor, which is where the town is. And again, I didn't focus on much of the, I could, but I didn't.
I think we did talk about that
we
last
did.
time.
On the other side on the other side of Georgetown is the town, and that's where you dinghy in and get your groceries and
water.
go for a walk and get water at the free water dock. We would move over there, anchor over on the other side. Nobody does that. Very few people move. When they sit, I think it's a smart move because it's a lot calmer on the other side of the harbor when the front comes. And then 1 or 2 days over there, and then you move back.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And nobody does it. I'm going to look smart.
Yep.
Well, the only trick might be that now that they have mooring balls everywhere, I don't know that they have mooring balls on the west side. So
But
you might not be
anchor,
able.
though.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know
I don't know.
I don't know how friendly they are to anchoring. If you're already on
I
a
see.
ball, they may not want you to anchor. That would
Yeah, I
be
don't
something
know.
to find out. I just want to
Sure.
put in a plug for the great community that they have in Georgetown, the cruising community. They have a morning radio net that longtime cruisers run, and there's a pattern and a routine to it, and a chance to ask questions and get advice and find out what mechanic to use and all those kinds of things. It's about a 20-minute radio net every morning. And on Saturdays, Cruising Kids run it.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to listen to the kids do the net. They take it so
Oh my gosh.
seriously. It's really cute. And they
They
have a
take it
lot of
seriously.
social, they do. And they have
It's-
a lot of social events too
Oh,
throughout the whole spring. It's really a lot of fun to be there.
it's so much fun. It really is. There's Roger.
So
We'll spend some time in the Keys.
shoot to the Bahamas. So I might see you in Key Largo because that's one of my stops. I like to, I've only been to Key Largo once. I mean, by land, yes, but by boat, I've been there once.
Right.
Uh-huh.
All right,
So-
Roger, do me a favor. Don't skip through Biscayne Bay without spending a week or two there. All right. That's a requirement.
On your way south or
Yeah.
on your way east,
Yep.
either one.
Exactly. I don't know. Do I have any other slides, Tinsley? I think that's my last slide. I'm not sure if I have anything
I
past
think
Georgetown.
so, yeah.
I think that was the.
Our
That
goal
was it.
was to get
Yeah.
Tinsley to Georgetown. I think
Well, if it's raging, like someone said it is,
That's right.
I may just kind of hang out, Okay, so someone over on Instagram says damage control _ sailing says Georgetown is an excellent place to do trips to Cat Island and Long
yeah.
Island.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You base in Georgetown, then you go out to Cat Island, you go up to Long Island, or you even get a calm day and you go out to Rum Key and Conception. Those are two more national parks that are just Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're really spectacular, but they're out there in the remote. There's not good harbors, so you go out there when it's flat calm, and then when the
Yeah.
front's coming or the wind builds up, you race back to Georgetown. There's just so much you can do from Georgetown. I see why 300 boats go there and just spend the winter there.
Yeah.
It really is as good as
And
it can
don't go
get.
anywhere. Dr. Sarah Cole says, very helpful. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're
Hi,
welcome.
Sarah.
You're welcome,
Nice
Sarah.
to know you could join us. Good luck heading south on the Chesapeake tomorrow.
Yes.
So you know this, Dr. Sarah.
Yes,
Oh,
and,
yes.
and her husband, we met them at the Annapolis Boat Show one year.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in. So we got the tips. I love that you talk what to do about when those west winds are coming, because
Yeah.
that is something you have to watch there. You can't just go and not be watching the weather. Would you agree?
You spend an hour a day on the weather.
Yeah.
You really do. You spend an hour a day.
An hour.
First thing you do in the morning, get up,
Yeah.
you go through all your weather resources, you look at all the PredictWind, advancing
models.
PredictWind forward 1, 2, 3 days. What's the wind strength, wind angle? You spend an hour a day. Now, when you're in Georgetown, you're not going to do that. But when you're in transit and you're trying to get from A to B, you're going to spend an hour
and
every
that's
morning.
what I'm doing now. I
Yeah.
plot my way forward based on the conditions.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, yeah, you spend a lot of time on the weather. We really do. Yeah.
And if you don't subscribe to Chris Parker, I have to suggest it.
He's great.
He sends email, or he does single sideband, or he does a live broadcast on the internet.
Yeah.
So with
And
Starlink,
how do you find him? I want to put that up.
his website is Marine Weather Center.
Yeah. MarineWeatherCenter.com. And it's what?
MWXC.
Yeah.
Marine Weather Center. So MWMXC.com for Marine Weather
Okay, so
Center.
it's not marine weather. All right, let me redo this. Okay.
Okay.
It's M for marine, and then
Yep.
WX for weather, and
Okay.
C for center. So
Excuse me.
WMXC.com.
It's MWXC.
That's what I said.
.com.
Okay. Yeah.
And that stands for
Marine
Weather
Center. Yeah.
Center.
Chris,
Okay, I'm gonna put that up.
subscribers forever, and I pay a yearly fee. I mean, I'm home here. I'm not sailing till January, and I still read his emails every day, and just to kind of keep in tune to what's going on with the weather.
So
He's
he
great.
does broadcasts and emails based on your location.
Yeah.
So for right now, you would be reading and listening to his Florida weathercast.
Right.
And then he does the Bahamas, the upper Bahamas, and the lower Bahamas. And he
Yeah.
does
How
the
much does he
Caribbean. And,
do?
He
pardon?
does.
Hey,
He
hey,
does this
what
all.
area-
He does this from Florida, and he does it every day, and it's wow. It's a lot. Coffee, Chris Parker, and Wendy. There you go. There's what
That's
Roger.
what, yeah.
Roger's saying.
You need
Roger's-
your coffee, you need Chris Parker, and you need Wendy. Good
You do
job,
it-
Roger.
You do it every day, and he tell you. It's just the way you. It's ridiculous. I mean, at home here, I don't spend any time on the weather. Oh, it's raining outside. Good. I didn't even know it.
Right. Yeah.
On the boat, every day we spend easily an hour listening to Chris, reading his email, looking at PredictWind, looking at Windy, any of the weather models you use.
When you go to Chris's website, he has a sample forecast that you can listen to, and also a sample that you can read. And something that took us a while to figure out is the math symbol for greater than
and less than.
is the symbol used for becoming. So it'll say SW15, then a greater than symbol, 20. So that means southwest winds 15 becoming 20.
Yeah.
So that's a
building
little
to 20.
tip I'll give you.
Yeah, he writes it in a cryptic manner, but it's a 4-page essay every day on your area of the weather. It's impressive.
So I could start using it for where I am
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You certainly could.
Yeah, you should.
I think
Good
it would
idea.
be money well spent. Do you have single sideband on your boat?
No.
Don't
Okay.
need it with
With
Starlink.
Starlink, you don't need it, but
Don't need it.
he does single sideband. And then on the internet, on his website, you can listen live, and he shows weather maps. And then people ask questions, and it's great to listen to the question and answer session, because a lot of times somebody's going to ask the question that you were hoping to have answered.
Right.
And then you find out the boat 2 boats over is doing what you're doing tomorrow. And then you've got somebody to travel with.
Sure. Well, so does this like a certain time every day?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a schedule. It's published on his website when he's on the radio every day, and it's fabulous. We've been using it
He's
for.
just a retired dude that just.
He's a young
like-
guy. He's probably,
I don't think
he's 50, 45 or 50. Yeah. And he was cruising, and it was back in the day when there was a weather broadcaster from Canada named Herb Hilgenberg.
We've talked about him on the podcast before.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
he
Herb,
was famous.
when Herb, I think, passed away or stopped broadcasting, Chris picked up the void, and Chris took over. That's how it happened.
Wow.
From what I
and did you have did you know the price? Did you mention the price?
I don't remember right off the top of my head. I think an annual subscription is $300.
Yeah.
And that's for everything. That's for the email as well as the broadcast. And then for a little bit more, you can actually pay him for a custom 5-day forecast.
Yeah.
And he'll ask you how fast your boat goes, how far you want to go in a day, and he'll map out a plan as good as possible, reaching into the future for 5 days.
Yeah.
That's, I think,
You can buy
$20.
you can buy passages, you can buy like 3 months, and you can buy 6 months, and you can buy a year. So like you would only need a 6-month subscription to follow your season down the Georgetown. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
You know, the Big Bend of Florida is tricky.
Right.
You know, like it'll just pop. If I would definitely want his for that, because it can be hit and miss. You
Right.
go
And if
across and all of a sudden.
that's probably not an area he focuses on, but if you were a subscriber, because you're there, he would talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Okay.
wonderful.
Oh, we
Can't
love him.
say enough good
Love
things
him.
about him. He's
Fabulous.
also a great human being.
Fabulous service.
So we
Yeah.
know him personally, and he's a great
And
guy.
with you guys know the weather so well. If you're listening to this guy, that says a lot
We've
about
been
him.
listening to him for 15 years easily.
Wow.
We've easily 15 years. We used them when we went up to New England. When we used to sail in the summertime to New England, we used them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There's other
Very
competing
cool.
services. There's
The girl from Canada, Jennifer Clark.
Jennifer Clark does the same thing, but it doesn't matter. I think Chris is fabulous.
Chris
Roger,
is in for me.
Yep. See, look at Chris. Look at
Yeah,
Roger.
That is so
Our
true.
lives revolve around the weather. So true.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It makes you become a weather geek, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun-
Well,
it's
you
kinda
guys
fun.
definitely are that.
Well, it makes
So yeah,
it's
I'm gonna look into that. I'll probably do it
Good.
tomorrow.
excellent.
So
You won't.
well,
won't
we
be
tried
sorry.
to do 45 minutes, but it's been
I
an hour and
know.
13.
I'm sorry. I get
No,
carried
don't
away.
apologize.
Thanks a lot.
It was so much fun. Thank you.
Great
Tinsley.
job,
Thank
Tinsley, as
you.
always. And
Thank you
we
so
say,
much. Are you already ready to do that? Wait, we got another comment here.
what do we got?
Brian says, Hayden and Radine, what a wealth of sailing knowledge. You guys rock. You don't want to miss that compliment,
you.
do you?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, bro.
That's his
Yeah,
brother. Thank
that's
you.
Oh, that's your
Brian.
brother?
That's
Yes.
cool.
Because
Yeah.
he came on earlier. He was
That's cool.
He wrote that earlier. So that's your brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How fun.
Oh, that's very nice.
That is fun.
Is that
Thanks,
a half
Brian.
brother or is it
Yeah,
a?
this is my
Yeah.
half brother. How
Okay,
fun.
I got some of those too. My
That's
family
cool.
tree is like that.
Very fun.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Well, okay. So what do we say?
We say, and that is Salty Abandoned and out.
Out.
Salty Bandit out. Thank
Out.
you guys.